Alright, y'all, what's going on? What's going on? Alright, so today I got me a little breakfast sandwich and some hash browns. Okay, so if you're new to your channel, please subscribe to the channel. Go and subscribe. Even if you aren't new, if you haven't subscribed, definitely go and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell so you get notifications the next time we post a video. Leave us some comments down below. Let us know things I see us try, things I see us cook. Interact with us because we do like to hear from you. I'm gonna say grace and get started. Dear Father, thank you for this food that we're about to receive for the nourishment of our bodies and health. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Not me just now seeing how crazy I look when I turn this camera on myself. I've been in meetings and just, I don't know, but just doing stuff today. So anywho, I've been wanting to make a breakfast sandwich with this croissant bread. I definitely bust my yolk, which I'm really sad about. Well, I like flipped it way too hard or tossed it too hard in the pan, but it was still holding on. I didn't even know that it actually bust until I had to grab my plate to come over here. I was so hungry I wanted to eat it. My hash browns wasn't done yet. Okay, I got you don't always time something perfectly, so stuff get done before other stuff. I also couldn't remember if I did a video or not. I said, well, let me take some pressure off myself because I didn't. Of course, eat the sandwich on camera. So here I am, looking crazy. Woo! God. I don't know what I want to do with my hair. I mean, I can tell y'all, it's the croissant bread. It's a Kroger private selection brand. I got an egg with church cheese and a sausage patty. When I know that I'm gonna get my hair straightened at the end of next month, the end of April, but I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with it until then. I'm just like, I don't know. I took some braids out. Low-key wish I didn't, honestly, but I mean, it was time for them to come out. Okay. I don't know what I'm gonna do about my hair being straight because I've been like getting on a treadmill every day, and I'm like kind of excited because I'm seeing I've been doing it for a couple weeks now and seeing progress, and I don't want to stop. And I got a little bit more, even more motivated because Bay had gave me a hug, and I had my jacket on, my shacket on, which is pretty, big, kind of heavy or whatever. He was like, "Dang, you getting a little smaller." He was like, "Even with the jacket on." I said, "Oh, well, wait a second now. Hold on. I'm gonna keep going." Um, well, I said in the next video I will talk about Married at First Sight, San Diego, and how they made me mad. Okay. So this is definitely a spoiler alert. So just, mute me if you ain't seen it. But kind of goes into what I was talking about in the other video about how people just be getting on my nerves, acting like they didn't know they signed up for Married at First Sight. Like, it's literally Married at First Sight. You're gonna meet this person for the first time you get to the altar. So it was a guy. Dang, no, I can't. That's crazy. I'm not about to be able to remember these people's names. Kristen and Mitch. Mitch pissed me off. Okay, because Mitch, he was one of them people that just don't know how to, like, it's just certain things that you shouldn't say. Like, it's okay if you thinking it, but like some things just should not make it out your mouth. You feel me? And not to say that I'm perfect or that I've always been able to not say what comes to mind, but it's just some stuff you don't say. So, bro, basically from the beginning, he was not physically attracted to his wife. Allegedly. It was that he was wanting someone who was a little bit more natural, like not wearing makeup, with her hair more curly and not straight. Mitch was melanin recessive, and so was his wife. He's like I don't know if he wanted somebody that was like a hippie or something like that. Like, he surfed a lot and just was very minimalistic, frugal. Well, I don't know that he's necessarily frugal, but definitely very minimalistic and just like really concerned with the earth and stuff like that. And like his job made it easier for him to be that way, or to live in his, his preferred lifestyle, which is just being very super, super conscious of the environment and stuff. So poor Kristen just felt like she had to, like, at first, just like kind of cater to him and like not be her true authentic self to like make him feel more comfortable, and also probably not get her feelings hurt because he's gonna say something off the wall just about, or just be brutally honest, which is fine to be honest, but like Lord, I don't know how to explain it. But in any event, he just kept coming back to the fact that like he wasn't physically attracted to her at first, or likes when she wears less makeup and it's just like herself and stuff. But she also felt like she couldn't be herself because of, he just was definitely judgy. He was very judgmental about people who don't live the type of lifestyle he does. He also made things just like so overly complicated. This one day, the wives decided to play a trick on the husbands and make them wear the same shirt, which I just love that. I love that, and I hope to do that one day. One of my friends, she did it. But anywho, it was just a harmless, simple little thing. Like, and so at first, so he didn't want to wear a shirt. He didn't feel that it was appropriate for people to get gifts for people that they wouldn't like or whatever. So I'm, in my mind, I'm like, okay, so you want everybody to run everything by you, okay? He didn't like the shirt, and therefore he did not want to wear it. And so she had to tell him the reason why she got him the shirt in order for him to get him to wear it. But he still didn't want to wear it after that because he just felt like it was somebody telling him something or making him do something that he didn't want to do, and also the kind of stuff. She's like, bro, really? He did end up wearing a shirt, but his compromise was that he was only wearing it until the jig, until it was revealed that they all had the same shirt, and then he was going to change. And it was so funny because somebody made a comment. They was just like, this was the better shirt, that this was better than the shirt that you had or whatever. I mean, it was I feel like, why, even if, just a testament to, like, in a marriage or just in a relationship or whatever, you may have, you may have to do things that you don't like to do or whatever, but you do it because it makes your spouse happy. And that's what her point was or whatever. And he just kept going back to, just not wanting to do something that, he being forced to do anything that he didn't want to do or whatever. And we're just like, bro. But yeah, he just was very, I don't know. It seemed like he was very unwilling to change, but he wanted her to change or like adhere to him, but it just didn't seem like it was reciprocated and stuff. And like, it was interesting that they both decided to say, that he decided to say no. She just wanted, all he had to do, and I don't know, I feel like he may regret this for the rest of his life. I don't know, because all she needed was just confirmation that they could continue to work on stuff or whatever, that they could continue to like grow. She didn't need that. All he had to do was just say, like, yeah, I want to work, continue to build and work on this or whatever. But he didn't, and he ended up saying no on decision day, which is just like, bro, I don't know. I don't know. It was crazy because I feel like maybe like the day or two before he made this whole grand thing, he was saying like, I don't want to lose you and all sorts of kind of stuff, but then ended up saying no on the decision day. We confused, okay? He also went on this, so they had this couples retreat and they had, a really good time. They both said that was like probably the highlight of their relationship. But then when they got back, he had to go on a work trip or whatever, and bro didn't wear his ring or tell nobody. He didn't want nobody to know that he was married, basically. And we just like, and I don't know, it was just his whole dynamic. He just really got on my nerves, and the fact that he kept saying, and then they had, throughout the episode, they had them talk to like each other's family, whatever, and he ended up talking to Kristen's sister. And like said, well, how do you think I can go about telling her not to wear as much makeup and like be more natural and stuff? And I got back to Kristen and she was pissed or whatever. And what they called it, pool gate, because up until then I think that she just was like real cool and just trying to keep the peace. And so she just like, kept basically taking stuff on her chin, but that had fed her up. Okay, that had burned her bacon and she was fed up. And she just went off on bro. She was like, no, I'm tired of like people like giving him an attaboy for doing things that he should be doing or whatever. Like he should be, I don't know, just doing his husbandly duties or whatever. And so she got fed up or whatever. But after that, I thought that things were going in a good direction, but I guess not. Okay, so that was them. Then Tree, Justin, and I forget what his wife's name was. This was one of the black couples. He was a real tall black dude, and he was getting on my nerves. Okay, he was it was so fun because he was a crybaby, and he just like, I just commend her because she was so, I feel like she was so like calm. Like he just would go off on the deep end, just like not hearing what she's saying, like go off on the deep end and just like take things completely out of proportion or whatever. Very much an extremist, like it's either this or that or whatever. And she was just like he made a big deal about her wanting to go out with her friends every weekend. And maybe it was like one of the days, like she was a very social person before she got married. And like it wasn't even, I don't even know that it was necessarily always going out to the club, but just wanted to spend time with her friends and stuff. And she had even invited him to go. And he said he didn't want to go. And then he turned that into her not wanting to spend time with him or whatever because she wanted to spend time with her friends. It's just like, that's unreasonable. Like, I feel like you should have a life outside of your spouse. Now, I get that, you know, from the aspect of this is an accelerated process, so he wanted to make sure that they were spending as much time as possible. But also, you could, if that's what you want to do, then you're gonna have to go, and you're gonna have to suck it up. Even if you don't feel like you want to go, if that's where she gonna be at, and you want to spend time with her, y'all could do these things together. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she wanted to be outside, and he didn't want to be outside. But he also equated that to not wanting to spend time with her. Now, they had I guess probably a big thing. They both had dogs, and his dog was not a friendly dog. And he didn't, I guess, share with her. Her big thing was that he wasn't always forthcoming with information, like until it was relevant, which in my mind, because I've dealt with like my dad and my brother and babe, like men just sometimes they don't get details. That's number one. So they can't give details. They don't care about the details. They just care about, you know, the big picture or whatever. And so to be asking them, you know what I'm saying, like and it ain't gonna come up till it come up, right? So and that's just how some people communicate. Even some of the women who also communicated that way kind of tried to give her perspective, like the same is true for me. But anywho, his dog had been into fights with other dogs before. He did not share that with her, and so when they integrated their dogs, his dog bit hers, basically like F my man's eye up, okay? And so he made the decision to get rid of his dog, or, well, for one, get his dog trained. And if that didn't work, then he would, you know, eventually get rid of his dog because he wanted to save his marriage or whatever. But I hate when they just keep harping on stuff. It's just like, okay, my thing is if you're going to forgive somebody and you forgive them and you're going to let it go, and we're not going to keep talking about it. We're not going to keep harping about it. And sure, like there's a thing of forgive but don't forget. But I just feel like, I don't know. I just hated to keep hearing her say something about it, and it was just like such a big deal. And I know people take their you know, feline companions and other companions very seriously or whatever. But it's just like, girl, I don't know. And I feel like he made the right choice or move to alleviate the problem, which was to get his dog trained, and then if that didn't work out, then he was going to, you know, rehome his dog or whatever, which is what he did. He had his best friend come and get his dog and stuff. So, child, that was the whole thing. Oh, because I almost gotta go. But who really pissed me off was this one girl. She was a nurse. She was married to Ben. Ben was Asian. I think she was partly Asian and maybe melanin recessive, but he basically, like, she was a nurse. She told him that she was a nurse. All right, I'm back. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this one last couple. Then the next ones I'll talk on the next video or whatever, if I remember. But okay, so I'll talk about Ben and I forget what her name is. But anywho, I will say that I feel like it's cool that Ben like learned a lot about himself, learned that, you know, maybe he do need a little bit more time to be married. However, I just feel like also this girl was just a bully. Flat out, I feel like she was a bully. And I just don't think that, I don't see, it'd be crazy because I don't watch these things like in real time, so I don't get to see what people are saying in the moment, because I feel like she was trash. So they got married. He ended up getting COVID, so they kind of was late to the honeymoon. And so when they got there, like she, I guess in meeting or whatever, like I said, she told him that she was a nurse, and she was a nurse. She had been working as a nurse or whatever, but she hadn't finished her bachelor's degree. She had a 2-year degree, and she, you know, took a test. She's RN, whatever, official, whatever. She got her license and stuff. She just, you know, getting her RN or whatever. And she was not done. She's not done with her, wasn't done with her BSN. She had one more class. So he thought that, you know, he had told the experts that, you know, honesty was something that he values and thought that she had lied to him because she said that she wasn't done with her classes. So he was thinking that she wasn't really a nurse, that she just was out here capping. But she explained to him that, you know, she really is a nurse. However, she also was telling him that she didn't want him to tell nobody about her like not having her 4-year degree or whatever, which I think probably also made him think like, well, you know, what you got to have if you know, if you really a nurse, it don't matter if you got a 2-year or 4-year. Like, I don't think, and in my mind, I feel like that's not nothing to be ashamed about. Like, you going and furthering your education, but you actually still working in your field or whatever. But anywho, she asked him not to say anything about, you know, the whole nursing situation or whatever. He ended up confiding in one of the other husbands, like Justin, the crybaby guy that I was talking about, that he had got real cool with. He ended up telling Justin about it and stuff, and she found out about it and got real pissed off at him or whatever. Just felt like he had broke her trust because she had asked him for that to stay like between them, and he had like confided in another husband, which probably ultimately confided in his wife or whatever, you know. So, you know, that was just something that just was so detrimental to her. She felt like it was like he had broke her trust. She didn't know if they could come back from it, blase skip. And, you know, she just would rather him talk to her about any issues or any problems that he would have with her and not nobody else. So then throughout their relationship, they just kept like, even they had only been out, it wasn't that long. Maybe did they make it to the 1 month? Probably made it to 1 month, but they was about to say he kept confiding in the Justin guy, the other husband or whatever. So then Alexis is Justin's wife's name, and Alexis ended up telling Ben's wife that like they still been talking, and like sometimes Justin would be talking to Ben and he'd be venting or whatever, and he would have Ben on speakerphone, so then Alexis is hearing everything that they saying or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Not even just solely what Justin probably tells her during pillow talk. So Alexis felt obligated to tell the girl that he still was confiding in him or whatever. And I feel like things were going great, like they were kind of like maybe sort of opening up or like breaking down walls and stuff like that, and then she just completely went cold on him after she found out that he was still talking to people about their relationship. But I just feel like she was just a bully. I feel like so then, you know, to me it seemed like he just went on this apology tour. He just kept apologizing, he just kept apologizing. He kept beating himself up about it. He owned his part in it. He owned everything. He never put anything on her or made it seem like, you know, well, she had done this, then I wouldn't do this. Like, he really took full accountability for his actions and stuff like that. He felt horrible, right? And I just feel like she was just doing too much. Like, you was just harping on him way too much. Like, he apologized. Then at one point she was just like, and one of the other wives said this, he had apologized, and she was just like, well, I mean, he's apologized, but he hasn't apologized when somebody has like, irrespective or not outside of when somebody else told him to apologize, and she just didn't feel like it was heartfelt. How you gonna try to qualify somebody's apology? Like, if they apologize, like he apologized, and I feel like you could see, to me, or it seems like he was very genuine. Like, I feel like if he was disingenuine, like he had to start going to therapy. Like, bro just realized that, you know, he just had some issues, like never felt like he was good enough, like, you know, didn't feel like he loved himself or whatever like that. And I think that brought out, I'm sure her treatment of him brought out a lot of insecurities in him. And I just feel like she was trashy for it, for real, because like, you let this thing spiral, and she was just like, he just keeps doing the same thing. He just broke my trust. I think that, you know, I will say that, like, for instance, just my current relationship, I hold it very near and dear to my heart or whatever. So I don't really, and it ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing to tell, but also, you know, I just have like practiced just talking to him like we talk to each other. You know, we are very open and honest with one another. If there's something, whatever, like, you know, that one of us has an issue with or whatever, we talk to one another. Instead of like talking to other people, but that was something that we established within ourselves, like at the very onset of our relationship. So, you know, it's cool or whatever. And I get the notion that, like, you know, when you bring other people in, and, you know, you're in a relationship and people just aren't as easily to forgive as you are in your relationship. So you might tell somebody something that may cause them to look at your partner adversely, but, you know, you still with your person or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand, like, you know, just her wanting him to communicate with her about what was going on and stuff like that, rather than telling other people and not telling her and stuff. I think maybe that was her biggest thing, is that he wasn't really communicating with her, whatever issues they had and stuff. But like, homegirl also just wasn't, like, you know, wanting to open up to him. And I guess she made it seem, it was like, if she was nervous to open up to him, because what if he went and told other people, just like he told people about the nursing thing? She just didn't feel comfortable, which I get that. But also, you ain't even give my homie a chance. But I mean, he did keep talking to old boy about his problems or whatever. But she wasn't talking to him either. Like, she had even at one point moved out of their little apartment. So who else was he supposed to talk to? You left him. You not communicating with him. He supposed to just sit in silence and suffer? Like, what's going on? So I just feel like she was being really unduly unreasonable. You know what I'm saying? And just like, and I just don't like it. And like, I think, like, to make it seem like he just, you know, completely like just like hurt you, like this was like that's all he did, was he went to go talk to another man about his feelings in his relationship, and you cut him off because of that. Like, I just feel like it was made to be deeper than what it was. And I honestly feel like she was just looking for a way out. Like, and she said that she's a runner. Like, she don't, you know what I'm saying, double back on people and stuff like that. So I just feel like she was making an excuse and looking for her out. And there was nothing that he was going to be able to say to, even if he had stopped, like, I just don't think it was anything he's going to be able to say. But she just like she gave up on the process. And then I think after a month, like, she decided that one of their meetings with the experts was like their decision day, and she wanted a divorce. And I just feel like she gave up. Like, she didn't even try. Like, and that's annoying to me, because I feel like you owe it to yourself and the person to at least see the whole experiment out or whatever. Like, you never know what could happen in a couple days, in a couple weeks. Like, even when he was opening up and sharing stuff about himself, and like, she just, okay. And then, I mean, she, you know what I'm saying, was like, I appreciate you sharing that with me. But then she didn't share nothing about herself. And it's just like, it can't be one-sided like that. Like, you have to share it as well. You know, I just think that you got to go in this thing with blind faith. Like, and I don't know, I just feel like they be too quick to be like, oh, like, the divorce is on the table, or they be just too quick to just use that or think that that's an option. Like, for me, ain't no divorce, bitch. Like, no, we're not doing that. You got to put this work in, okay? So I really I don't like her. I don't like her. I feel so bad. I felt so bad for being, and then I feel like, you know, on top of like all the rejection, like, he grew up in an Asian household, and like, he, you know, y'all know, like, a lot of Asian households or even African households, you know, most of the time you only got one or two careers that is acceptable. And if you do anything else, then you not, you know what I'm saying, you're not being a good child, or they don't look at you the same. And he decided to go a non-traditional route, and therefore he received a lot of slack from his parents, probably, and specifically his dad. You know what I'm saying? And just like, he just went through a lot. And so I feel like just the way that she was treating him, like the rejection or whatever, like, further, you know, exacerbated the problems that he was already experiencing, or the things that he already was dealing with within himself and stuff like that. And I just feel bad. Like, I don't know. I felt so bad for him. I really did. And I don't know. So she just is a B word to me. I just feel like she just was just so mean and nasty to him. I feel like her treatment of him was just very mean and nasty, and just, you know, like, not even, like, it wasn't that serious. Okay, he talked, I just felt, and some of the men, like, they had this, like, this day, like, where the men got together and the women got together, and they all were talking, and this one, they was kind of still kind of still, and one of the men even said, like, you know, just how is it fair, like, or why is it a problem that he's talking to, you know, confiding in someone else about what he going through. Like, I feel like they are all going through the same thing, you know, as far as like being married to somebody at first sight. It's a unique experience, and why wouldn't they confide in one another or talk to one another? I think that that's unrealistic to expect them to not confide in them, because they are going through something similar. Shit, your ass. And then, you know, she talked to the other women or whatever, and talked to them about what's going on, both, I'm sure, off camera and on camera. So like, how could you not expect him to do the same? I just feel like that's crazy. And I just feel like, especially when she wasn't talking to him either, and she ended up moving out of the apartment too. So it was just like, what are you supposed to do? And then the way she did it, I feel like, was so toxic. The way she let him know that she had found out that this was after the honeymoon, and when she found out that he was still confiding in Justin, she was just like, they was in the apartment, and she was just like, oh yeah, Alexis told me everything, by the way, and just walked out the apartment. And didn't like answer him, like, you know, just walked out. That's so toxic. That's just so ridiculous. Like, bro, you gonna be woman enough to say it, but not be woman enough to, like, you know, like, sit there and have a conversation about it like an adult. You a child. And yeah, so anywho, that was that. Did I finish what I was gonna say about Alexis and that dog? I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Justin got some soul searching, a lot of work to do on himself, though, for real, because I don't know. He did say he had some insecurities, and that the reason why he had a problem with her going out every weekend was because he felt like he was going to lose her or stuff like that, because she's very attractive. Like, first of all, Alexis was like on all the time. That face would be to the gods, okay? Like, and she just also dressed really well. Like, she did that. She did that. But also, be if you doing what you supposed to be doing, you feel me? Like, just like, if you being who you need to be for her, she ain't gonna be checking for nobody else. And furthermore, she said she just want to like to hang out with her friends. Like, she just like to chill, you know what I'm saying? And she was just like, it's just for 2 hours, like, every weekend. And it ain't like she went out. It was more so like doing activities. It ain't have to be going to the club. It could have been going to brunch or just going to go chill with her friends. And he ain't even want to come. So it's like, you leaving me between a rock and a hard place. You don't want to go, but you don't want me to do it. But you want me to be happy, but you act like you don't want me to smother, you know, you don't want to smother me, or you don't want me to not be able to do these things. So, and and then the reunion was just funny because Justin and Nate, I guess they end up not being cool, and Justin just, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. In my opinion, I don't know, it just seemed like Justin he's soft, that's for sure. He cried a lot. There's nothing wrong with a man being in tune with his feelings. I'm not saying that, but he did cry a lot. I'm just saying. And like, he just, I guess, like, for whatever reason, was unfollowing all the castmates, or just like, after maybe, I don't know, just like wasn't rocking with people and stuff like that. It was just like, damn, like, what they do. And then, well, I guess since I'm here, real quick, I'll talk about Nate and Stasha. I felt bad for Nate. Like, they ultimately did stay together after decision day. But oh, and that was another thing. Justin just kept self-sabotaging stuff. Like, after decision day, he like basically was trying to make Alexis feel bad, and like was asking her, did she really want to say it, or did she say it because he wanted her to say it, basically. And I'm just like, bro, what is it? First of all, chill. Like, he just like completely derailed, like, where they were supposed to be happy and stuff, you know, and excited about decision day. He just completely derailed it, brought the mood down, and just ruined the whole moment. And then I guess maybe they had came back, but then when they went in front of the other couples after decision day, he did it again, and she just was like, I'm done. Like, and I feel her though, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't nobody want to keep, I want you to feel secure, and I want to provide that security to you, but at the same time, I can't keep holding your hand every day, bro. Like, I done told you what it is. I told you how I feel, you know what I'm saying, where I'm at. Like, just take that for what it is, you feel me? Like, I don't know, he just, And then Nate and Stasha, she's very independent, but just like in career driven and stuff like that. But she just nagged. She's a nag. That's what I'm gonna say. She nagged that man, okay? Like, and she was very impatient. If he wasn't doing it on her time, she had a problem with it. Like, my man said, like, I think he was a person that had never been in love before or whatever, or never loved anybody and stuff like that. But like, I get it, like, you want to sense that from somebody, but like, give him time. Like, at the end of the day, I think people fall, in love or whatever at their own rates or whatever. Yes, it's an accelerated process, but that don't guarantee that somebody gonna fall in love with you after 2 months. It's not a requirement. I feel like as long as he was committed to, keep continuing to do the work to get there and grow there, then I mean, that should have been what it was. But the girl was just, and she was just like a person that, you pick the scab and just to keep picking at it. Like, girl, leave this man alone. And then, like, I remember the one argument they had, it was like right before decision day. Like, they last dinner before decision day. She basically was like, I don't think that you just really into this. I think that you just going through emotions and stuff like that. I'm like, damn. Like, and I felt that he felt, hurt and attacked by it, because it's like, he really sitting here trying and you just think he just doing it just cause, like, and he got pissed, and I every time he got pissed, I absolutely understood where he was coming from, because she just would just keep nagging and nitpicking at him or whatever, instead of just like being in the moment and trusting the process. Like, she just wanted to have control over everything, and like, yeah, I don't know. But they ultimately did say yes at decision day, and I think they ended up breaking up, which I'm pretty sad about, because I really was thinking that they were gonna, make it and stuff like that. But I just think she was just too impatient. She wanted everything on her time when she wanted it or whatever, versus like not understanding that you married somebody that's completely different than you. You didn't marry yourself, you married somebody different. He has a different way of doing things or whatever, or if it wasn't the way that she wanted, which, I mean, I subscribe to people, being loved the way that they want to be loved or whatever, but also, like, he was doing things in other ways to show how he cared for her and that he was serious and all this other kind of stuff. And it just everything he was doing, it just didn't seem like it was good enough. Like, yeah, so, yeah. And was there somebody else? I think I covered all the people, did I? Yeah, I think I got everybody. All right, I think I'm done. All right, well, that's all, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave some comments down below. Let us know things you like to see us try, things you like to see us cook. Interact with us, because we do like to hear from you. And subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Hit that bell so you get notifications the next time we post a video, and we'll see you in the next one.